All right, we are live. So, how's everyone doing? I need to pull up my chat because I'm in a very weird setup right now. We'll get into it because obviously you see one of the biggest differences. One, face cam. Two, second camera. So, yes, tonight we're going to be doing an Amiibo reorganizing stream. So, we kind of need this fancy setup. So, yeah, I'm going to do my best to keep up with chat, but I do have co-coms with me. So, hi Matt, hi Amber. There, I did your introductions.
Hi.
So yeah. Hey Ethan, how you doing? All right. So I guess to preference this, we're starting here just so I can explain the gist. So I have already some work behind me. You can already see some Amiibos, but that's not what we're focusing on. That shelf, that's the whole different beast. But I do have more figures I'm going to be taking into my Amiibo shelf here, and I'll show in a second. I have a total of 5 of these. If I can get them all. A total of 5. So starting off, we have a Cat Mario, a Cat Peach, a Bowser Jr.,
Those are old Amiibo.
Zelda and Loftwing, and a Banjo-Kazooie figure. All 5 of these I need to make space for on the shelf, and these have been literally sitting in boxes for months. Like, I've had these guys since, like, February when they came out.
Good gosh.
So I've been putting this one off for a while, but I figured this would be a cool idea to do in a stream. I asked you guys like a couple weeks ago about this, and you said, yeah, let's do it. So this will be a nice chill night. So without any further ado, this will be our main camera, so I kill the webcam feed. There, see? We got screenception over here. There's a lot of screen.
Oh, I'm going into the abyss.
I'll be killing this monitor here in a second, but I need to see. So we'll be over in this corner working, and we even have mobile cam. So if I need to get up and close, there you go. We can get up and close. So what do you say? We get things officially started.
It's officially started on Amiibo shelf reorganization stuff.
Yep. So I'm gonna kill this screen now because we don't need it. And
so
we do have music, as you can see here in the corner. This is all Stream Beats music, so if you want to check it out, it's like multiple sites. I think you just Google it. It's on Spotify and such. This is DMCA free music, so that's why we're going to be using this. That way we have some tunes. And I don't have to touch it. And also, guys, let me know if the audio sounds good.
Worry about copyright.
Yeah. So you let me know if the audio sounds good, and if I need to fix it, I will, because I got a laptop over here I can fix it with, which I can show this as well on the fly. So I need, is that, yeah, there we go, phone cam. So I have one display over here, and I actually tweeted about this last night. That's our main display, and then I cloned it to a laptop because it's the easiest way I can see everything. And I have chat here in front of me with a tablet, so I'll be able to keep up what you guys can say. But if I can't, that's why I have other people here. So put that down for now, and we're gonna just start working on this because there's a lot here, as you can tell. It's about 4 shelves worth. There's one down here you can't see, trust me. It's there.
That's all
Too many monitors. Hey, you can never have enough monitors. You really can't.
Lester, don't you know that the more monitors you have, the more the government can spy on you?
No, that's more cameras. And you're right, we have 3 cameras here. So, yes, that will happen. I need to, speaking of which, I'm not using the webcam anymore, so I can just deactivate that, because I don't want to show that. So let's start with the easiest shelf first, and I need this handy damn cam again. So we're gonna just, this may be very disorganized in some ways, and I apologize, because this is a first for me. Alright, so let's start with down here. Yeah, there's only one thing on this shelf. It's just an R-Wing figure from the Starlink stuff, but this is the other shelf I'm talking about. I won't probably film this one as much, but that's a 4th layer.
I'm actually going to be right back. I'm sorry, Lester.
Okay, that's fine. You're good. All right, so let's start down below here, because like I said, there's literally one item, and all I can do is just that. So I also have, you know, a couple different supplies here. And we got some compressed air in case these figures can't be like cleaned with a duster, because there's certain figures that are going to be a pain. I'm looking at these stinking things here. These 35th anniversary or 30th anniversary Mario Bros. Figures, these are terrible for maintenance. They're like really bad. Also, I think I'm a little hot on the mic. I want to see if I can turn that down a bit, which I have no idea how I'm going to do from this menu. Actually, I have an idea. I need to get back over to the main display real quick. You guys are going to get to see this, I guess, again. I think I want to set this down like a couple decibels. So how's everyone doing here? It's been, what, a week and a half since our last stream, so it's been a while. Let's turn it down. I think that's okay, yeah. We'll go with 65 for now, and I'll just leave that up for later in case we need to fix that again. Imagine those terrible to clean. Yeah, those Mario 35s, they're all bumpy, and there's plenty of grooves that dust gets stuck in, so there's only so much you can do to clean them. That's why I have a can of air here. It's only so much a duster can hit.
Oh. Shells are just pain in the butts. Sometimes.
Yeah, they are. They look nice, but they are a pain for upkeep. So, it's a price you pay. Speaking of which, on bookshelves, I'm actually running out of space here for Switch games. Like, that's almost full. And that'll be like my 4th or 5th shelf that's like full on a systems library. So I have to overflow it somehow if it gets full. How many Amiibos do I have? Good question. I don't exactly know. There's a lot here. Each shelf can hold about, let me see. I'll just start with this one, it's easier. So 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. About 22 per shelf. So you got 3 shelves here. 22 times 3, that's 66. And then, let's see. 86. Over here is just 95 figures. I have more than 100 because my entire Splatoon collection's on my actual bookshelf. So at least 100 plus.
You got every single Splatoon Amiibo?
Yeah. Even the alts that they released back in like 2016, I think?
Even the recolors?
Yeah, those are the alts. I have all those. Alright, so I don't get up and down constantly. I think I'm going to just start with this 4th shelf. We'll work our way upwards. So, like I said, down here you won't be able to see much, but I have a table here so I can just like showcase these real fast if I need to. My plan is I'm just going to take them all off, clean the shelf, and then I'm going to like clean them one by one to put back. I did this like a year ago, and this is going to be a pretty decent length stream because this took me over an hour when I did this like a year ago. So, strap in. Need also move these boxes out of my way. Get that mouse out of here too. Alright. You know, in hindsight, just thinking about it, I probably should have took pictures of how this was set up in case I wanted to like put it back in specific ways, but it's fine. We should be okay here. Actually, maybe, I don't know if I can do something with this. Let me turn on the phone real quick because I want to see something. You guys might be able to see what I'm doing if I toggle LED and like, yeah, you can kind of see that. That'll work. So, yeah, again, this is going to be scuffed, but hey, if it works, it works. There we go. I should probably invest one of those like Stream Deck things at some point. All right, so this is what we're working with. I already took off like the Shovel Knight set, which is on the table, but then like the rest of these are just like a miscellaneous of figures. Like you got Bayonetta, Fox, and his crew.
Shovel Knight's an underrated Amiibo.
It's really good, yeah. It's one of the best designed ones. Like, let me grab it real quick so you guys can see. Like this Amiibo is very well detailed, and it has really solid like construction. And same for all the other ones too. Like I'll just get King Knight because he's probably my favorite out of the set. Because his cape is very well, like, just printed in general. You can feel all the bumps. His scepter feels pretty solid too, and like, this thing is hard as a rock. So it's really solidly built.
Oh yeah, Deltarune Chapter 2 comes out tonight.
Yeah, I'd say that kind of came out of nowhere because when did Chapter 1 come out? Like 2016?
Yeah, it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's like we haven't heard news about Chapter 2 in like 5 years or so, and then all of a sudden they just, oh yeah, here it comes. Like it came out of nowhere for a lot of people, from what I've been hearing, but it's still been building up hype. Alright, so I don't know how you can probably see, I can kind of see it here on my preview screen. You can see like the rings. This is why you clean your stuff every once in a while. But these shelves are a pain to deal with, so this is why it's like, it's a once a year project. Not the best. So I guess once a year Amiibo streams from now on, huh?
Yeah.
There, that's good, it's new. Yeah, and I sleep in this room, so I don't want it to be that dusty. That's better. Well, I guess now it's the painstaking process of doing each one individual. That's gonna be fun. Alright, I want to kill this light because I don't want that to drain my battery, make my phone really hot. Some random summer day. Yeah, I mean, we're not really in summer anymore, but, you know, it's Florida. 90% of the year is just summer.
Hey, it's still summer until the 21st of this month, so...
Technically, yeah. You're not wrong.
Summer's not over until the 21st, so...
Yeah, technically. And that's the problem. Because it's like, oh yeah, now it's in fall. Are you sure about that? It doesn't feel like it in the weather.
I heard from the almanac that it's supposed to be a bad winter this winter.
Oof. I mean, it's kind of been a bad summer because there's been so many storms. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have the same thing with winter storms in north states. Here in the States.
Well, we'll probably get the brunt end of it because...
Probably. You guys seem to get a decent amount of like blizzard storms when they do hit.
Yup. I still remember the ice storm of like 2004. That was an experience.
Wow. It's more like autumn. It's because it's cooled off from 100 degrees. Oof. Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's finally down, but 100 degrees is still a pain. So, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's going in the fall, but it doesn't feel like fall weather anymore. Alright, put the big boys back. I like putting like very thick figures in like the back sections of these shelves because it's so hard to put them out in front. Because of these, like these slacks, they make the shelf look nice, but they take up a lot of space.
Are we wondering why half the cast of Amiibo are thick?
I mean, they kind of are. You're not kidding. Like this shelf is like kind of the thick guys. I mean, half the Shovel Knight crew is like half the size of like Bowser.
Yeah.
But then they're double the size of things like Fox.
Gosh, Fox's Amiibo was like literally like one of the. It was like the first wave of Amiibo that ever came out, and just like so much is done differently. It's like, what is my life at this point? I'm scared to show my collection off because good God.
Yeah, like can we go back to that question before? Because I got a question of how many Amiibo I have. Matt, do you want to plead the fifth?
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That kind of answers how many Amiibo you have. Everything.
I have every single one that was released in America.
Yeah, so I think the only ones you're really missing have been like the super rare, like Japanese ones.
The ones I'm missing are the Monster Hunter Stories Amiibo, because I never went around and imported those because at the time I was kind of low in cash. And Box Boy Amiibo.
Yeah, and those figures nowadays are like hundreds of dollars a piece.
Jeez.
Not cheap. Like, you have one Amiibo that was like that. We were discussing at the end of Amber Stream yesterday, but you have a Mega Yarn Yoshi, which now on the market goes for at least $200 used, $300 plus new. So it's a very expensive figure.
We're giving out Mega Yarn Yoshi. I think that one's my favorite out of all the Amiibo. Mega Yarn Yoshi is my favorite, mainly because I have a really fun story associated with it because it involves us driving like 2 hours?
Yeah.
Out at least an hour and a half in the middle of the other state next to us. Oh lordy, I was on an excursion I never had gone before. I never went that way, and the Toys R Us we went to was very big.
Yeah.
It was very nice Toys R Us. I was
remember, like, you sent me a picture of it when you were in the store, and just, like, the one aisle you were in was, like, super huge for, like, a toy store.
Yeah.
It was almost like walking to, like, a Sam's Club or Costco's or something in terms of its size, just from what I can gather from that picture.
Oh, yeah, the recent Gold Mario. I don't count those. Everybody's like, oh, you don't have those. I'm like, they only have, like, 3 in print.
Yeah, and not just that, but they have the same code as like a normal figure, so it just looks different. And if you can't get them because they're not commercially available, I don't count them either. At that point, that's like saying you don't own like a gold Wii. It's like, yeah, there's one of them, and the Queen of England has it.
What, you gonna go steal from the Queen just to get it?
Well, I did go up for auction at one point. I don't know if it ever went through because they took down the listing, but they were trying to sell it.
I think the gold Monster Hunter Amiibos were only given out of that Nintendo sweepstakes, I think. I mean, in Japan, they were also... It was like there was I think another raffle down in Japan that gave them out too. But yeah, those gold ones are was only ever given in those in sweepstakes.
Yeah, it's been... Whenever they do stuff like that, it's been kind of like hard on collectors in general to get these. I know people classify the rarity differently because of that.
Yeah. Now, okay, maybe I don't have this set of Amiibo. We're gonna count that because I know for a fact I've seen Cheka Conroy's collection.
Yeah, he also has a lot more like the rare ones too. I think he even has things like the Box Boy Amiibo.
Yeah, he has all of them. I think. The one that I haven't picked up that we have here is the Skylanders Dark Form version of the Skylanders Amiibo crossover thingy.
Yeah,
it's just the dark variant, and I didn't pick that one up because I was like, one, I don't care for Skylanders. I know. A big surprise considering how big of an Amiibo fan I am.
Well, I mean, you bought Skylanders that were Amiibos back in like what 2015 or something when that was a thing.
Yeah, that was like literally the only one I bought, and honest to gosh, I kind of, well, no, I don't regret that because surprisingly, my unboxing of that video has gotten like spawned like 15,000 views.
Yeah, that's I think one of your most popular videos. I think your Xbox One review is still like #1, but I think that's like what, #2 or #3? In terms of actually, watch history?
Let me go look up my statistics, my analytics here.
Yeah, you can sort your videos by most view, and then you can see which one has the views.
I just literally saw a video on my recommended just now that said, who would win, 1 Million Lions or the Sun?
Well, that's oddly specific. I don't know what that's about, but sure.
1 million lions are just gonna burn up as soon as they touch it.
It's no brainer at that point. I mean,
evaporating to nothing.
Well, I asked, why?
What kind of question?
That's why he's asking, what's gonna win this fight, the gun or the stick? What do you think, the gun?
Yeah, it's literally.
Well, that stick does have a fighting chance. Have you seen the sticks in the Zelda games? Those things can kill a man. You can replace your Master Sword for reasons. Or Amiibo have like Morph, Ames, Saliza. I guess, yeah, those are more Fire Emblem ones. Female Corrin, the Skyward Sword Zelda, and TP Wolf Link. To be fair, you have like big ones like the Skyward Sword Amiibo. I mean, when it first came out, it was kind of hard to find, but then they made it readily available. Now I think it's getting back into that hard to find state. But that TP Wolf, yeah, good luck. He just exists now. You can't really find that Amiibo anywhere.
Almond Celica are really, really hard to find now.
Yeah. Well, any Amiibos that aren't in like the past year or two or aren't Mario are pretty much impossible to find. That's kind of how I noticed the stock of new figures in general. It just doesn't really exist after like the first couple months. That's why I get worried about if you continue making more of these Nintendos. Like, okay, if I don't get these on a pre-order or if in like the first month, I don't think I'm ever going to get these again. So that's kind of concerned, but at least the modding scene for all this stuff has kind of stepped in to fix that issue. Like, if you just need the data from these things, you don't care about the figure, but you just want the data from its NFC capabilities, people making those like NFC Amiibo cards, just so you can have the uses of it. Which I'm a big advocate for that. Like, as long as that doesn't cause a legal issue, yes, please make them.
Oh gosh.
Because I even have some. Like, here, let me see if I can show you guys real quick. I'm gonna swap feeds. So, turn the phone. There you go. All right. Well, for one, that's our last figure. I might as well clean it here. But this here is actually something I showed off on Twitter too. I bought these specifically for the Zelda play that we're doing, Breath of the Wild. These are Amiibo cards, in a sense, because they're just tiny little things, which I should probably turn back on the light on this, shouldn't I? Toggle LED. Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe it's a little too blown out. Okay, well, you get the gist here. So this thing, this is the Wolf Link. It doesn't look like Wolf Link, because if I can get the real figure for reference, this is actual Wolf Link. That's the figure. The art's a little different, but it does the exact same thing as this. This guy costs like, what, 100 or something bucks on the used market? And this, along with every card in this pack, which has every Amiibo up to the newest Loftwing here, cost me like 14 bucks or something like that. It was very cheap.
I probably should pick those up at some point, just in case. I mean...
Yeah, they've made like new printings of these kind of cards, which includes the Zelda and Loftwing Amiibo. It's the same price now. So...
I mean...
You can just get those now if you just need the figure as well.
I actually had trouble getting the Metroid Dread Amiibo. I managed to snag a get one at on like Amazon Germany or something like that. I managed to grab one.
Yeah, I mean, I was like talking to you about that as well. It's like I asked you, hey, if you even see these as a listing, just let me know, please. I can't find them anywhere. And did you immediately find them on Germany within like a week or so of us talking about that? Which I appreciate you like at least picking up like a pre-order for that as well, my name, because I didn't even have time to get to it. All right, swap back the cameras. Like that, it sucks that you have to just go outside of like your own territory just to do this.
It's stupid how scalpers have ruined this. You know,
yeah, like it's going to cost us more just to import these things.
Anyways, to answer your question, my most viewed video is a bonus episode of Sonic Generations for the 3DS.
Yeah, that was the multiplayer one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the versus mode. Yep. 30,000 views.
You're welcome. Because I was with you. That's how someone played with you.
Yeah. My second one is the first time I played Metroid Fusion. One of my Metroid Fusion Let's Play, the first one. It was the episode with the SAX and Sector 2.
Try 60. There we go. Yeah, that one I remember is also a pretty big one for you as well, in terms of views. That was from your original playthrough, not the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine the new one right now just got those views, and that just released like, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That would be something.
Alright,
start with this shelf.
The Xbox One unboxing was third. It's like 21,000 views. Sonic Generations bonus number 1, Supersonic, and the hidden figurine room.
Yeah, because people were looking at that video because you also had the codes in the description, so they probably also were there for the codes, which helps a lot on views.
Yeah. And then my Agrispore Let's Play first episode was there, and then Undead Nightmare episode where I do all the challenges in that one.
Yeah.
Hammer Slam Bowser and Turbocharged Donkey Kong unboxing had 10,000 views.
That's
and
still really good. Yeah, that was one of your most popular unboxings, just the raw unboxing experience.
Yeah, for Amiibo, yeah, it's my most popular unboxing for Amiibo, which is kind of silly when you think about it.
Yeah, because it's technically not an Amiibo, but it has Amiibo functionality, so they're 2-in-1 on that one.
A PlayStation TV unboxing got a lot of views.
Yeah, that one's pretty good too. I remember, at least one of the last times I checked on your analytics, the last time I think we talked about this, I remember that being in top 10.
Yeah. I think so.
Alright, that's ready for the next set. This is when I'm probably going to start opening up some of these figures, because certain ones I'll try to combine on shelves. Like I may put Bowser Jr. here on this shelf, but one of them will have to move. If anything, maybe I might move either Captain Falcon or Little Mac. I was going to put him here. That's like the hardest part about this stuff, decisions, but I got free space on this 4th shelf to use. And probably one day I'm going to be using that 5th shelf too. I got also like, it's 2 figures in that Metroid Dread pack, right? It's like Samus in like a robot thing.
He's asking you a question.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like the Metroid Dread pack, that's like 2 figures, the Samus and like the robot thing from Dread, right?
Yeah, the Emmy.
Yeah, I want to make room for those since that comes out in like a couple weeks. So I want to make sure I have room to fit those guys on the shelf, and I'll like leave a gap, but I gotta figure out like, if I'm doing that, 2 guys gotta move, and I gotta figure out who. So we're getting that like reorganizing stage, you know, what the stream title says. I don't know what you're watching on. Things change all the time. Remember in that part of YouTube history where people did like, here's the title, because like every week it changed. Like they kept on moving it in the dang website. Sometimes it feels like that on this platform too. Like I think the title's above the player if you're in full screen mode on desktop, but like everything else is down below. Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's the last Amiibo for this year, because Min Min's doesn't even come out until next year.
That's sometime in 2022. They haven't disclosed when yet. I'm assuming it's got to be somewhere in Q1. So probably January, February, maybe.
Yeah. And then by then we'll know the final character of Smash Brothers.
Probably. I would not be surprised if they announced that final character here before the end of this year to build up hype, because that's what they usually like doing. Because they did that last year with Sephiroth. They actually announced him at the Game Awards, which was in December. And then he came out like 2 weeks later. Oh, you got a picture. I can actually see that picture now on the tablet, so I'll just pull that up.
That's really organized, Ethan. I like that.
Yeah, let's see here. It's loading up now. Yes, Twitter, I know I'm logged in. For some reason, when I click a link, it's like, hey, log in, like yes, I am, but shush.
Marth, Tiki, Zelda, Celica, and Corn.
Oh yeah, and like all right there in front of your Switch games too, which that's probably where you would use pretty much every one of these figures. So yeah, that's a nice slot. I'll see you picked up those new Joy-Cons for Skyward Sword. Man, those things were like a pain to find for a while, and then they became readily available like the figure.
Yeah, they were. I was really lucky, Amber, you managed to find one.
Yeah. I was wanting to pick up, and I couldn't find them. And by the time they were actually readily available, I'm like, well, now I have no money, so GG's. So like, I skipped out on them.
I think what I'm gonna do, Amber, when we get the OLED, I think I'm gonna retire my old Switch, and I think I'm just gonna put the Zelda Amiibo on it and put it on a display.
Okay.
That's fair, because you guys have actually a couple Switches now, because both of you have a standard Switch model, and then you also have a Switch Lite.
Yeah, Amber has a Switch Lite.
And then you're getting OLED. I think you said you're both getting the system.
Yeah.
So that'd be 5 Switches in your household. So yeah, you don't need to have your other one now hooked up.
I mean, I technically don't need a new system, because mine's not as old as your guys's. But I don't want to ruin my system because it's a special edition.
Yeah, yours is the Let's Go one, which is honestly one of the better designed special Switches in my opinion. It's simple, but it gets the point across, and it's not like too flashy.
Yeah. I need to get... I really was debating on whether or not I wanted to pick up the OLED, but I was like, you know, my Switch came out at launch.
Yeah,
and
that was my mentality.
And mine has been kind of acting up, at least with the dock. It's been kind of acting up a little bit. I just said, yeah, I might go ahead and just retire it.
Yeah, you're probably better off for that reason if you're having those issues. I'm the same. I'll actually show it here in a second. Mine is definitely starting to fall apart. It's already old looking when you like look at the back because it has like grease marks on it. But you can actually see like the top piece of the system itself starting to open up because I actually lost the screw that holds one of the pieces together on the top because in the inside of the Switch, the plastic that holds the screw down just broke, and I don't know how. Because I never take the system out of the house. It's 99% of its life in the dock, and somehow it has a broken piece of plastic on the inside. So I have several questions. Here, let me show you guys what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah, you're probably better off with just the dock if you're good with the system. Oh, did my mouse die? The heck, it's not working. Fine, I'll use the trackpad. Oh no, there it is. It was on the other monitor. This is a weird mouse because I have to, this specific one, it goes to sleep every 5 minutes. And you have to wake it up like moving it around or clicking. So I thought it was just dead or something. Alright, let me pull that up. So I have my system over here in the dock. Let me take it out. I need to turn it off for a second. So this is going to be very awkward. I'm going to actually move. I told you this is very scuffed. It's nicely set up, stream setup, but also scuffed. So I'll turn on the LED again so you can see what I'm talking about. So up here, you can see kind of on the camera, there's this little spot right here. This is supposed to have a screw. There is no screw. It's just gone. I have it. It fell off in the house. So I was able to grab it and put it in a bag to keep it. But now you can actually take like this seam. You can put your finger in here and you can rip it open if you want, which is not great. And because of that, you can actually see if I do this, it's wobbling a bit. So it's not as secure as it used to be. So I can tell this system may not last forever. So that was my big incentive. If something like this happened, like I'm gonna get a new model. And yeah, this is a launch model. You can even see here what I was talking about. Kind of can tell. You can see like those little splotches and scratches here. It's like it's been very well used. These are even like the launch Joy-Cons I had on here too, which again, very well used Joy-Cons.
I have to say one thing. I know a lot of people suffer from Joy-Con drift.
On the other hand,
I'm surprised.
I've had these for like almost 2 years now, and they look perfect still. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised they don't look greased out. These are like the Mario Odyssey red. One of my favorite colors, just flat out with the Joy-Cons. It's a very nice shade of red.
Yeah. My Joy-Con haven't drifted yet. I'm really surprised my launch Switch Joy-Cons haven't drifted at all.
Yeah, mine have been fine too. Like the worst problem I had, you had the same issue, where they tended to like go out of sync when you held it. Like the left one specifically, when you held it in your hand, and it had that launch model like sync issue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Nintendo fixed it for free.
Joy-Con problem.
Yeah, like they just fixed that within like the first month or two of the system's launch, because it was a widespread problem.
Okay, have a good dinner, Ethan.
Yeah, enjoy your food, and we can see you here in a bit. Yeah, Ice Crimes is one of these figures that I complain about, like the weird form factors. Like it looks cool, but you can't get any stinking grooves with your fingers, so how are you supposed to clean that? This is why certain figures like this, I have compressed air on me, so I just give it a little squirt of air. I'll do it one more time, just like in the center. That should be fine. That can is almost empty. I may have to get one of my other ones out soon. The Game & Watch, I love this figure. It's one of the easiest. Because you can just break them. Comes out right out. It was the only like interchangeable Amiibo I think they ever released. Oh, they're putting it backwards. Oh no, I'm right. There we go. Yeah, it's like a weird locking mechanism thing, which makes you think it's not going incorrect. I like trying to like put those retro guys all next to each other, so the Robs, Duck Hunt, Ice Climber, Game & Watch, like they're all the retro characters that's in Smash that I have, so like you just clump them together. It's a perfect 5-row and a 5-row shelf. Let's see here. I don't want to do this. Maybe I could put Falcon down on this other shelf. Oh yeah, sure. Why not? Falcon's gonna be the one to move. Didn't go right in front of Fox. Or actually, the place where Fox is. Yeah. Actually, no. Replace Falcon. That'd make more sense.
He's dressed for the wrong sport.
Isn't he always? Chuck?
Charging Chuck is not dressed for golf.
I see. Yeah, someone's still playing golf. How far did you get in the story mode so far, Amber? Because I see you playing some of that.
Right now.
Oh, sorry, what was that? I think it cut you off a bit, and Discord said, let me put you in a tin can. Thanks, noise expressions.
I'm doing the 18 hole in the desert right now.
Okay, yeah, so you're at course 4, technically.
Yeah.
That's when I think the difficulty in the single player starts to pick up, because you have that time mechanic when you're there with like the water. So if you don't do well enough on the holes, you run out of time because you're dehydrated.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but it's just kind of a pain to keep up with after a while. I think at this shelf we're going to tilt the camera up a bit so you can actually see a tiny bit more than just forehead cut off. Let's see. I gotta put you here down below. You know what? I gotta make that space.
Did you see that thing that she posted on Twitter? Though?
Yeah, like when I was texting you guys to see if you wanted to join in, Amber said like she had like this stupid shot, and I immediately looked on Twitter for the clip. Which basically, you're grinding like every pin. I swear, you're a pin magnet.
I don't mean to. I'm just trying to play the game, okay?
Yeah. I'm surprised. Like you get that so consistently, so I can see you being really good at chip-ins for that reason.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many I've gotten in story mode so far. I don't want to post them all though, because my Twitter feed
It'd be a little much, yeah. Well, speaking of which, I don't know if you noticed. I noticed this like immediately when I was posting one of my Sonic Colors clips to Twitter. But with that latest Switch update, they upped the character limit, so it's not stuck back in like 2017 Twitter limit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now you can do like, what was it, 260 characters? Like you could do the full amount that Twitter supports now, which is huge.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know why it took that long for the Twitter character limit to be changed on the Switch, because that was super limiting for years. Even like the PlayStation, the Xbox systems updated when Twitter changed the character limit to reflect that. At least it's finally there on Switch.
Then again, Nintendo's always backwards about everything.
Yeah, I mean, it took them 4.5 years to add Bluetooth. That apparently has been the code since day one. Well, I don't know if day one, but at least it's been the code now for the past couple months. Because I think it was data mined earlier this year, one of the updates, that there was a new Bluetooth option in like the code, but it didn't do anything until now. At least we finally have it, and I've been using the Switch Bluetooth for a decent amount to try it, and it's been really good. It's not like the perfect audio quality. Like you'll get better audio quality using a pair of wired headphones because, you know, audio compression being sent to Bluetooth, it's gonna be a little crunchier. But it's really not that delayed, and it's super convenient. So I'm probably just gonna end up using wireless headsets for my system from now on.
I saw a tweet this morning there's a picture. It says Nintendo employee when they realize that they forgot to turn on the Bluetooth button after 4 years of not having it on.
Yeah. Hey, you just like have a cold sweat. Oh no, I forgot something. It's like when you leave home, you're like, did I leave the oven on? But you don't go home until like 8 o'clock at night and you left at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, dude, just check your stinking oven. In this case, check your stinking Bluetooth setting. I did try one Bluetooth device I have, a Bluetooth speaker. I tried that with the Switch, and it was like super quiet. Like at max volume, I could still barely hear it. So it might not be the best to use with Bluetooth speakers. I guess it'll depend on the speaker model. But I used like this Bose speaker that had volume buttons on it. Volume buttons didn't work with the Switch. And max volume in the system settings, it was still very quiet. It's like, well, that's a little disappointing. But it doesn't really matter because I don't see a use case for a Bluetooth speaker with Switch. I already use Bluetooth headphones.
Really, Chuck? Really?
I thought this was football.
Of all the characters, it is random to see Charging Chuck in there. It's like, wow, I haven't seen you referenced besides Mario World stuff. So, Mario Maker and Mario World, that's it.
And in Mario 3D World.
Oh yeah, that's right, he was one of the enemies in 3D World. He's just not in many stages, so I kind of forget. Mine is Champions Road, you remember him there.
I remember, remember him in Champions Road, I don't know.
It's that one section. He's just, yep, you stand it out. Probably not in a good way, though.
I might play
in front of you.
You can play whenever you want to.
Man, I kind of want to not be doing anything while I'm playing with Sperry and see what's. It's hard for me to play a game with voice acting and pay attention to it while I'm busy multitasking, unless I played it before.
I gotcha.
Lately, it's just been hard for me to multitask in general. Where is WarioWare?
Did you put it back in this cave?
Oh, dude.
Man, it's one of the pain ones to deal with because he's so low to the actual statue piece. So you can't get anything under it. I will say, I missed out on the Kirby set for Smash, but I don't really think it cares much because I kind of like the Kirby versions of like Meta Knight and Deity more compared to a Smash counterpart. But to be fair, when they released those figures, they were still in like their early ages of making these, and it showed. Because remember those early designs of Amiibos? They were pretty bad. They didn't get really good, I think, until like Wave 3 or 4.
I still remember. Wii Fit Trainer's Foot Ice.
Yeah, Wii Fit Trainer was one of the first ones and it showed because it was one of the worst looking ones. Remember Villager and Marth? Their faces were so messed up. Mainly Villagers, Villagers looked messy.
Remember those were like the rarest Amiibo to get back
yeah,
in the day?
because for some reason people couldn't find them and they just became sought after. That's what started the whole Amiibo craze. Oh yeah, I forgot Deity's the same as Meta Knight, where he's like an inch off the ground, and because of that, not easy to clean. That's why we gotta get the dang air. Now, at one point I kind of need to like pick up, I guess, like an air compressor, which is the same thing as these, but, you know, completely reusable. It's just I haven't found a good one. And these cans cost a couple bucks at like, say, Walmart or something. So it's easier just to restock them. Okay, that shelf is pretty much good, but I think I might want to put at least one of our guys here. I try to keep like the Zelda guys next to each other, so I may wait for Zelda and Loftwing until we get the shelf too. That means someone here should move. You know what? Now I say that, let's get rid of Isabelle from this shelf then, because she can just be replaced with the Loftwing. I'm not even supposed to have this. This was just an Amazon screw up, so I got it for free. That and like Pokemon Trainer, and there's one more, but I'm blanking on it.
Isabel?
No, Isabel and Pokemon Trainer are the two, but there's one more with it. I can't remember which one. It was like it was 3 I ordered, but it was only one I was going to keep and cancel the order. Forgot to cancel the order when it shipped. Then they lost it in the mail, so they just
Was it Pichu?
refunded me. Yeah, no, yeah, you got it. It's Pichu. Pichu was the one I think I was going for, and then the other two I was debating about, but I didn't have a chance to cancel. But by the time I realized it was too late, they shipped, and then they lost the order, had the refund because there was no more of those figures in stock, and then like 2 days later, they just randomly showed up at the front door. So someone found the package and returned it. So because of Amazon's screw up at the time, because that was before they made their own delivery service, it was more the post office screw up. Amazon was pretty good about it. But because, you know, they didn't have their service, they just credited me back. Which is really good. And also bad for them. Their loss is my gain. Okay, I think I could put Bowser Jr. in this shelf, so I think we're actually going to do our first Amiibo opening then. I'll put Bowser Jr. right next to like the Pikmin, which, let me see something real quick before I do that. Let me just see him. Yeah, that should fit. That should fit right there. If not, I can swap the Pikmin and Olimar, which I might just do, now thinking about it. Actually, you know, no, I'll do this instead. I'll just swap Isabel over here and put Bowser Jr. on the side next to Olimar. That just makes sense. Yeah, so now we're going to do everything wrong, right? Because I'm going to be destroying a figure I could probably flip on eBay for like quadruple the price. Collectors are going to cry.
Don't cry, please.
Alright, so let's get these guys out of the way. So, this is the one we're actually going to be unboxing here. And, actually, let me see. Can I get it like a better angle, maybe? Yeah, that's probably better. So, I'm working with the OBS preview, so I'm like, deep, now you know why, because I have to kind of look somewhere else. So, we can just show off the whole thing, which is, scuffed. I don't know why all these things figures still have Japanese on it. Like, they started to do this in like 2017 or something with these figures. And they also still say Wii U. When's the last time one of these figures like, yeah, I'm going to use that on a Wii U? Like, I think... Do any of these other ones say Wii U? No, surprisingly not. But sir, I've gotten one of these that said Wii U, and it was never compatible with a Wii U game. Which I can't remember what figure it was.
Speaking of Wii U, for anybody who's watching, if you want to get stuff off the eShop,
do it now.
Probably be best to get it now because they're going to be... I know they're not getting rid of the eShop completely, but they're already starting to drift away from the credit cards being used on there.
Yeah, well, so, I don't know if it's at least for us, but I know they confirmed that for like Japan.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they confirmed it for other territories yet. I mean, you're right, you should probably look into it now.
I've been slowly trying to get stuff off my wish list when I can.
Yeah, there's like a handful of games I kind of want to pick up there that are either really hard to find nowadays or just like on that system only. So I probably want to do that at some point too. Alright, so this is now done. Just gotta put that off to the side. There we go, nice old Bowser Jr. He's hefty. This was like, was this Wave 3 or Wave 4 back in the day for Smash Wii U? Okay, yeah, Wave 4. Yeah, this is when they fixed the design issue at that point, so this is one of the better design ones from the earlier Amiibo days.
I think if I remember correctly, Robin and Shulk were like Robin, Shulk, and Lucina were the really hard ones to get.
Oh, that's it? Yeah, I think you're right on that one. I just put him right there.
Diddy Kong was
Waluigi. Well, that's awkward. He's kind of looking at his butt, but let me just turn you a bit so it's not as awkward. There you go. I'm like, that's fine. Actually,
Diddy Kong was hard to get in his wave.
Yeah, he was Wave 2, and he was one of the sought-after guys. I remember that.
Captain Falcon.
Okay. I want to move the camera up before we do this.
I got a almost hole in one with the chip in.
Okay, so let's just like tilt up. Probably zoom in now since I'm working closer. Look there. Alright, there we go. That'll be easy to see the rest of this.
Good job.
Yeah, that's much better. What hole was that? I want to know. I was distracted by camera. Oh, speaking of which, I forgot the flip out screen.
Hole 7.
Oh, okay. Is that one of the par 3s or par 4s? I can't remember that one.
Par 4.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. So I already made some space up here, but I need to make a lot more space soon because I have 4 more figures and then 2 slots I need to open for the Metroid, and they're gonna go here probably in this set. Okay, so this is the fun part. Let's just work on cleaning first.
Oh gosh, you're gonna make so many people upset when you open up those Metroid Amiibo.
I know. Well, I probably may just do like an unboxing video of like, here's the physical like standard version because I'm not getting the collector's one, and then like throw in the Amiibo with it because like, well, that's enough for a video. I don't unbox things if it's just like the game cart in a box. There's not much to show, but when you have Amiibo, it's like, hey, why not? It's a quick and easy video.
And that's kind of what I did with recent videos. I like I did with the Skyward Sword video. I showed that one.
Dude, October is going to be a busy month because, I mean, I guess I can officially announce it now. It's been like 3 years, but finally going back to doing a console review since the OLED model for the Switch comes out then. So I'll probably want to do a video with that, and those always take forever to make because there's so much prep work that goes into one of those videos.
Yeah.
But they're always fun to just like get out there, and they're always well received, so I know you guys like it. It's honestly, it's like one of the weirder ones to film. It's like it's going to be a very easy and very hard one to get footage for because it's not going to run games any differently. So like to get console footage, I can just record that now for my current model. But it's like handheld shots where you're playing in the handheld. That's like the big stuff I would want to probably have. Can't do that until the system's released.
I've never even seen what is the difference between what does an OLED screen do?
So have you never seen an OLED panel? Like an OLED TV or anything?
If I do, I just don't understand it.
Well, it's basically just a different screen type, obviously, as the name implies, but the biggest difference is its color accuracy. Like, it has true blacks, so when there's a black in an image, instead of just like dimming the pixels and making it gray, it's like this screen right now when it's off, it is purely black. Because if there is black in the image, it just turns those pixels off on the screen. So it's like, it's really accurate from what people say in color, especially with the blacks. And at least from what I heard in like the competitive scene or such, it's not bad on response times either. I do have an OLED screen because I have a PS Vita which has an OLED screen. I made sure it was the original model that has that. And I like played a PSP game on my actual PSP system and then on the Vita just to compare the two screens, and I noticed the difference. It was cleaner and just overall more detailed looking on the Vita. So you can see a difference. You'll probably notice it when you get the system.
Yeah. I never.
It's something you have to see in person. If you want to see one now, I just recommend like going to a store that sells TVs or something and just pick out an OLED one from the group and just like look at that compared to like any other panel around it. Because that's what I did as well for like one of the last times I was in the store. I just like, oh, here's an OLED TV and an LCD TV right next to each other. How convenient. Let's see how they look.
I'm really kicking myself because I never did get a Vita. I really wish I did.
I mean, there's really not much you need a physical Vita system for, because pretty much every other game plays on the PS TV, even now with homebrew scene. But for me, I really only got it for Uncharted, because that's like the one game, even with hacks, you can't play on the PS TV because it utilizes like the back touch screen, the camera, microphone. It uses everything on the system. So you need an actual Vita to play that game. Otherwise, it just, you have sections that are next to impossible, or flat out impossible, I think, in certain areas. Also, nowadays, most of the stuff on Vita was ported, so you can get on like PS4 or PS5 or like even like Switch and PC. Which, that's the disappointing part. You buy a Vita and then everything gets ported like a month later.
Look at this crap. Look at this crap. Oh my gosh. Amber just landed like a deep hole.
I am not gonna win this one.
You're starting to see the problem with the desert course now, I'm guessing. Because I had the same issue, like I think on hole 17 when I was doing the full 18 hole thing in story mode, where like someone knocked me into a pit where I missed shot or something. I remember I was stuck in a pit, and it took me like 6 swings to get out, and I lost the entire tournament. So I had to go from the very beginning, and it sucked. Having to redo all that because of one bad shot, it's painful.
It's a flag.
Did it?
Yeah, it's a flag.
I feel bad when you're cleaning things like Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong Amiibo because you're just shoving something in her mouth. Just like, here, just
eat it.
Open your mouth. It's like brushing her teeth. Oh wait, I'm sorry, they don't have teeth. The budget wasn't there for teeth that day. I think actually, let me see if we can swap over to like the second camera again, because I want to show DK real quick. I remember when I got him, it's like, he was super hard to find at the time I was picking up this figure, because that's when a lot of these kind of figures just started to go out of circulation. And even like in the Mario set, I think you can barely find DK now. Which it kind of sucks. He's a common character in all the games, and you can barely find his figure. So let me swap back over to...
We'll try to get one of them.
There you go. So this is the DK Smash Amiibo I have, and you can kind of see on his lip here. You can go down. There's like a little black mark on it. There's like a chip. Like a chip in the paint. And it's like, I couldn't even find any of these, so I'm like, alright, fine, I'll just deal with it. DK just has a sore lip, that's all. Everything else is fine. Just DK here, he got a bar fight or something, I don't know. Someone tried to steal his bananas again. So there's your canonical reason why my DK Amiibo is a little different. Certain things like that don't bother me really, because you can't notice it from a distance. You really only see if you get up close and personal. And I have a handful of figures that have like those weird imperfections. I think my Kirby is kind of like that too, like the Smash Kirby. He's right here in front of me. Yeah, it has like a blue spot on him for some reason. Which I don't know why. There's like a random blue spot in the back. It's like someone tried to paint his eyes on. They didn't get the right side at first. This is the same shade of blue as his like bottom eyelid. I will say, I really like the difference between like the Samus Returns Samus and then like the Smash Samus, because you know they went back to the old suit design with this one, like from Super and such, and it's a huge difference on the Amiibo itself.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I think this is probably my favorite Amiibo. We keep on talking about our favorites, but I think the Metroid from Samus Returns is my favorite, because it's like one of the better looking detailed figures. It's really well done, and it's also squishy.
Yeah.
So it's like actual Metroid squishiness. Okay, he does not want to let go. This is why I have a rag as well, in case I can't get down under one of these figures.
He's a squishy boy.
I'll just move the rest of that. Yeah, it feels better. Yeah, flipping it this way. Feel bad for DK, he's getting carried by a Metroid at this point. Right in front of him. Ready to pick him up. Zero Suit was always one of those weird ones to me, because like she looks good, but her weird figure in like the artwork just made it awkward for them to make a figure, and she's just like encased in ice basically.
Yeah.
That giant like plastic pole on her just does not look right in comparison to the rest. Although, I can't remember which one. There was like one of the earlier ones I think I remember. I don't think I have it. I know there was one that was like really weird, and it looked like it was going up like the character's butt or something.
Yeah, I can't remember which one.
I might actually have the one question, but I don't know which one it is. None of the ones up top here. Maybe, if anything, maybe Peach, the Smash Peach, but you can barely see it since it's under a dress. Maybe I can put the same as there. You know what? Yeah, we'll put things like that. Really could be trying to get his Metroid friend. I think I can put the new Samus and the robot thing next to him. I don't know what the thing's called, and I don't want to know it until I play the game, because I heard that last trailer for Dread pretty much spoiled a lot of the story, so I just avoided it.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched it and I'm like, that's literally gonna be the first 5 minutes of the game.
It probably is, but it's still like, after like the first or maybe second trailer at the most, I usually stop watching them, because a lot of spoils nowadays just tell you, not spoilers, a lot of trailers spoil too much. There you go. Yeah. They kind of go over more detail than they need to sell the product. I think it goes a little overboard in some cases, like for certain movies or games. Movies especially are really bad with trailers now, because they just flat out tell you too much.
Yeah. Like we were mentioning earlier on the Amber stream yesterday, I said I really hate that that intro has that one spoiler. I'm just like, you know, it kind of stinks when you really it's pretty far in the game, you know?
Like for Three Houses?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I know we also said that for like the reveal trailer for like Lucina back in like Smash 4, because it like spoiled one of the major plot points in Awakening, and that game was only a few months old at the time.
Yeah.
So that didn't help things. There was another Smash trailer I think that was kind of like that, but I don't know. No, it wasn't with Shulk. Was it with? Well, no, it was kind of with Mythos/Pyra. It wasn't the trailer itself, but it was one of the things they showed in like the Sakurai Presents. Like they grayed out the name of a character, but they flat out showed it. I think at one point too.
Yeah, it
was a late game character.
The Awakened character, yes.
Yeah, I just love how this Wolf Link is just solid stone he's standing on, basically. This plastic is very hard plastic. It actually feels like a real rock. You know, I'm not looking forward to the part when we get the Breath of the Wild, we gotta worry about Amiibo, because that means I have to go back to Twilight Princess. Because I need to get data from this thing. And that means you have to boot up another game, beat its own exclusive mode, so you can get this thing fully leveled up in a completely different game. It's like, definitely I have to play 2 games to 100% one. And before anyone asks, no, I'm not going back to that hard mode playthrough we did back, like, what, 2018 or something for that, because that's suicide. I don't have enough hearts, I don't have any real way of getting through that thing. I'll go hold my 100% save on a personal playthrough to do that mission. That would just suck if you're going in there with like, I don't even know how many hearts I had by the end, like 8, 9? Something like that? Because I picked up heart containers, but nothing else.
I still can't believe that.
You know, if there is an eventual Switch port of like Wind Waker HD or TP HD, we may like revisit the Twilight Princess run we did and like change the rules a bit. Like, we might revisit that concept. But until then, obviously, I think I'll just continue the Zeldas we're doing, because it's still Zelda year on this dang Twitch channel. Never ends.
Now we gotta watch Skyward Sword HD playthrough?
Dude, you know what the one thing that bummed me about Skyward Sword HD? There's no new content. And I'm like, you're like the one Zelda port that has like no new content, Skyward Sword. All the others have at least something. But this one, it's like nothing, which is sad. It has that warp feature with the Amiibo, but I don't count that because it's not a selling point for the game, it's a selling point for the figure.
Yeah.
So I guess by technicality, Skyward Sword HD is the worst of the 3D Zelda ports because it doesn't add anything new. I wouldn't really actually say that because it is still a really solid version of the game, better than the original. But it's like, man, I was even like, you don't have to do a new dungeon or anything, but like nothing there. Ocarina had like a boss rush mode. Wind Waker had like all the big improvements, like I had a new item with the Swift Sail. Yeah. Majora had everything because they changed so much. Twilight Princess had that Cave of Shadows thing with the Amiibo, which I guess if anything, that's in the same boat as Skyward Sword, but it's a whole new area you unlock with the figure compared to Teleport. So I guess like there is a big difference there. Make it still new content. So I guess if anything, it's either Skyward Sword or TP, I guess could be like head of the worst of the 3D ports. Just in raw quality, but they're still like I said, good games. At the end of the day, good ports. I think the best one was Wind Waker HD. That flat out just fixed so many problems with the original. And it changed enough to make it fresh without overbearing itself like Majora's Mask did. Because if you guys have been watching the Majora's Mask playthrough going up on the YouTube channel now, you've seen a lot of those differences, and some of them are fine, and some of them are like,
no.
Why did you do this? Like, was there a reason? I don't understand. Just wait until we get to Stone Tower and we get to the Twin Mold fight. That is the most different fight in the whole game, and it's like, why? This fight, in my opinion, is worse in this version, and I don't understand why he needed to change it to this. I don't want to say more if you haven't seen it. Wait until the playthrough, because you'll definitely see a difference. Again, it's like, I don't understand what happened with the Majora one, but it's just like, you know what? What if we made another game while porting this? Didn't make another game. Like, that's what it sometimes feels like in design.
Oh, how do you feel about Sonic Colors Ultimate, Lester?
Well, I was getting over my depression, but now that you mentioned it, I'm depressed again. Dude, I was playing that last night and the game crashed on me. Like, flat out just locked up. Like, good. I'm glad I didn't get this for full price. Oh man, it's so rough. Like, it's a good game buried under a lot of bugs. Like, a lot of bugs. And it makes me so sad of it being so messy, because it's not a port or even a remaster, it's like a rebuild of the game. And that's why it's so messed up. Because like the devs, apparently like Sega didn't give the Wii code at all to like, what was it called, like Blue Stream or whatever they're called, Blue Nut?
Yeah.
Like they didn't give him the Wii code because I guess like I didn't have it or something at the time. So they had to rebuild the game just, I guess, from playing it and then just seeing how it worked and like mimicking the code based on just their experience. And it could definitely be shown in like the final product. It's a good game, but it's a terrible port. It is, oh, I'm so sad. Yeah, you had to do our boy dirty on the 30th anniversary. 15 years ago, we had the same treatment. This is like Sonic Genesis all over again.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, let's swap out to this
game.
game.
Oh my gosh, Sonic 06 was 15 years ago?
Yeah, that released in 2006 for the 15th anniversary, and now it's the 30th anniversary this year. There we go, just move that around a little bit. This is like a really solid looking figure. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have opened this when I was doing my Skyward Sword playthrough, but I opted not to use this at all because the warping functionality, it's 100% free if you play the Wii version, and it's called Back in Time. It's a nice nifty glitch that now they put into an Amiibo for $25. So I played the game with a teleport feature already when I first played this, so I figured let's just play it intentionally how they originally made the game. It did add like an extra a couple hours, I think, to my playtime. Like maybe about 2.5 to 3 hours, I would say, maybe in total traveling between the air and the ground. But again, I want that raw Wii experience. So it's like, get rid of this thing for now. I can use it in a future playthrough because I glitched the game my first playthrough Back in Time, which is essentially this Amiibo because it did the same thing. So
I remember
I just didn't open this.
I remember when you got Skyward Sword, actually, like the physical copy of the game.
Yeah, you were there for that. It was a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's a little bit of a pain. I think I'm gonna have to use a knife for this. Just like score the bottom of it. And poke a hole in. There we go. Should be enough. I don't like using a knife for like the whole thing because I'm afraid I'm gonna slip and cut myself. So I just use a finger. See, like once you get it open, the rest of it just lifts right up. Did you use this Amiibo when you did your playthrough, Matt? Or did you opt to not use it as well?
No, I just didn't use the warp.
Yeah, so you're just like me at that point, where you travel back and forth in the air, which it's not really that bad when you think about it. Because half the time when you go in the air, you're doing something.
And I just don't understand why people are so upset. Like, I understand the locking of quality of life feature kind of stinks, but yeah. It's just like, literally...
Well, especially because when this was first announced, it went on pre-orders like that day, and it sold out in seconds, and then no one can find it until the game came out. So it was one of those, like, you're locking something behind a more expensive one, because this was $25. We can't find it, and this is something that could have just been in the game. And in fact, it literally is in the game. It was in the Wii version with a glitch, and they patched out Back in Time because there's no way to reset the console on Switch, so you can't activate the glitch. It would probably still be there if there was a way to reset. But like that, I'm mixed on this thing for that reason too. I think it's too expensive for just teleporting. Buy it because you want the figure, not because of the feature. Jeez, that thing was like really in there. Yeah, like this thing, I feel like this thing is just, it is overpriced just for teleporting, but I didn't buy it for the teleporting. I bought it because I like the design. Like, this is a really nice looking Amiibo. Alright, so get that out of here as well. Get this knife because I don't want to cut you.
I don't want to cut you.
I know I'm salty about the price, but I like you. It's not bad, like design overall, and it's also like super thick too, like really well built quality. Forget, like, there we go, the focus is working now. Like, even got the chain on there, looking very detailed too in the loft wing. I thought it was around its neck for a second, but no, it's on its front piece here. Camera's doing a hard of a time. I'm using an app on the phone called IP webcam, and sometimes the autofocus just doesn't work well. So that's why we use a real camera for this stuff, because I don't trust my cell phone for that. Alright, well, let's see. What have you got to go? I think I'm gonna get rid of Zero Suit for that one. Might be able to actually combine Zero Suit up here with the monkeys. I can put them like right between Diddy and Donkey, I think. Yeah, that'll work. There you go. I still have enough room for the new figures coming out. If not, I could probably rearrange it later too. But I think that's my game plan. So I like, if I can, I like to have the same series next to each other. Like the Zelda guys next to each other, the Metroid ones, some of the Pokemon. I can't do it with all of them, but I try to keep things like in the same series so it's easy to find the figure if you want to use it.
Yeah, I'm like that with my Zelda Amiibo.
Well, we've done that with all the Amiibo. Like,
of all of them, the Zelda Amiibo probably gets some of the most use in games.
All the Fire Emblem, Pokemon, Zelda, Mario, all of them are all together. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not easy to put them all together like that. as I'm demonstrating now. Yeah, I like the shelf, but the biggest problem is these like sticks on the side with the support. That makes it hard to kind of put things around the edges, but I can make it work by just spinning these figures. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good. Alright, well, we're on the last shelf, but this is the hardest because I still have 3 figures to unbox here. And this shelf is full. So, like, 3 of these guys aren't going back up here. They're going down below, I think. And I have some I could say, yeah, that's fine with. Like, I might do movement with Simon and Richter here. Maybe Snake as well. That could make sense. Put those 3 guys together, because they're together now. How many more? I'm trying to think how many more characters we even have now for making these. It's Sephiroth. It's Pyra and Mithra. They announced they're doing 2 figures for that character, correct?
I don't think so. They haven't announced any Amiibo yet for.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if they even talked about them on the last presents. Because I know like they did a bait and switch with us for Byleth. People thought they were going to do a player 1 and 2, and they just did 1. It was like the male one, I think, and no female.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do Pyra and Mithra. I think they're just going to do 2 separate Amiibo.
They might, because it is 2 different characters, unless they do like that Zelda Loftwing design, just cram them into 1 figure. But if they do that, it might be more expensive, like the Loftwing. Because it's not cheap to make a figure like that.
No.
So, I mean, I understand the price hike. It is hard to swallow for a figure sometimes, but again, you're buying these mainly because you like the design of the figures, not for the use case. Because most of these figures I haven't even actually scanned in anything yet, really. Because, like, what do you do? Like, half of these are Smash figures, and all they do is work with Smash Brothers. If you don't play with the Amiibo in Smash, then you're just not using them. That's just how it goes. They were pretty useful, at least in the early days of Ultimate, to get the spirits. Because a lot of these Amiibos gave you spirits early.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to those Mario 30th Amiibo here. That's going to be a pain. Those are the worst. We'll start with those probably here first. But they're very ridgy. The ridges is what keeps dust. And it's 1 giant block. It's like Lego Mario before Lego Mario, basically. Except probably Lego Mario would be probably easy to clean. You know, someone should make a tier list just on Amiibo cleaning. Because I think those guys would be an F tier.
Yeah.
And then like you have like S tiers, like all the yarn Yoshis, because you just put them in a washer. I probably wouldn't do that with my figures. I probably would destroy the NFC.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I mean, people put keyboards in their dishwasher. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it can clean your keyboard, but I've heard some people say it can actually destroy it, which I would expect. Water or electronic. Come on.
But you'll have a very clean, non-working keyboard then.
Yeah, pretty much. So this here is why I complain so much about these guys for this sake. For maintenance. Every single ridge is a place that dust can get stuck in. And guess what? I have like a gap here with his hand. I don't fit. Oh, look, he has an underside, and that underside inside the pipe, you can get your finger in. So guess what? You gotta get in there too. It's like, dude, this Amiibo looks so cool, but it's a pain for upkeep because how do you get in there? You just have to get what you can and then just kind of deal with it, unfortunately. Yeah. Like I said, one of the harder ones for maintenance, but it looks nice. I mean, it's one of the best looking Amiibos I have. It's almost like different tier lists. He's like up there as one of my top favorites, and also down there as one of my least favorites. Just depends on what you ask about. Oh, design, yeah, he good. Oh, cleaning. Oh yeah, I want to put him in the garbage can. That's clean, right? I remember, what was it, like last year I did the same process, but I didn't do this, obviously, a stream thing. I did this right before we were supposed to do a league recording. And I blindsided you guys when I came in. It's like, I was already kind of like close to an hour late, because it took way longer than I thought. And the first thing I remember saying getting in the call, like, hey, how you doing? I hate Amiibo. Like, oh, one of those moods, huh?
Playing right now.
No,
Are you having trouble with this
yes,
tournament?
I don't like these courses. I just want to play regular golf.
Yeah, that's kind of story modes. Half of it is not regular golf. It's like your practice is regular golf and the rest of it's speed golf. Which, to be fair, speed golf is a really good mode, but in the single player, it's kind of hit or miss. Like, it's really good when you're playing with other people, but on the bots, it's like, alright, well, I'm already done with the course, and Toad over here is taking an extra 6 strokes to get in the hole. All I gotta do is watch him. Which is why in story mode, it takes you like an hour plus to do every course, because the characters are so slow at finishing. Yes, here's the other one. Same kind of design, except, you know, one's classic color scheme and one's modern color scheme. I don't think this does anything like later games. It was only really for like Mario Maker 1 that gave you this Mega Mushroom power. And then the rest of the games, this works as like a standard Mario Amiibo.
Yeah.
So because of that, I have like, what, 7 Mario Amiibo, technically, in terms of a use case scenario? Something crazy like that?
Yeah.
There's so many figures with the same code.
I really wish that Mario Maker 2 just gave it to you so you can get or did Amiibo.
Yeah, it was a shame they didn't bring back the Amiibo costumes in any form, but the game also feels like it was so much missed potential too, especially when it stopped receiving updates only a year in its production. Like, or release, I should say.
Yeah.
Like, apparently it sold worse than Mario Maker 1 on both Wii U and 3DS combined, and that is insane when it was released on a system like the Switch. Like, it has the playing base. I see people playing it all the time to this day, but apparently the sales didn't reflect that. So they just said, pull the plug on the updates because we can't do any more. It's costing us too much money.
Makes me so sad.
It really does, because it is a good game. I prefer it over the first Mario Maker, but it has so much missed potential because they just stopped updating it. Like, there's that whole game slot that's just missing in the other game modes. It just has 3D world in it. And you can tell us where they're going to probably put the Mario 2 style at one point, Mario 2 USA. But with how they had to rush out this last update to be the final update, because you know that probably wasn't planned to be the final one. They just converted it last second to Mario 1 style Mario Maker 2 and just said, that'll be good enough, but don't fix the gap. So now, if you have OCD, that gap's gonna just bug you. Again, it's really sad of what just happened to that game. Like, it has a really big player base, but I think now the player base is starting to slowly wind off of it because I think most people kind of explored every option in Mario Maker 2 for making courses. Because, what was it, a couple weeks ago? They just had their 5-year Mario Maker courses being released, like the anniversary of the series. And they had some cool ideas, but some of the ideas people said were like similar-ish to what they see in the past. So I think they're starting to hit that plateau, new stuff they can do in the game. So some people are starting to get a little fatigued, which is sad. That's why you need updates to give you new features. Hey, welcome back, Ethan. How was the dinner?
Come back, Ethan.
Alright, there we go. Bowser's gotta go in the back. He's a thick boy. You can't put him anywhere else because he's so big.
Why are all the characters in half the roster of this character thick?
What am I gonna put there? Ooh, a cheesesteak. That's really good.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of them myself, because I think it's just... I'm not the biggest fan of cheese, which is a weird statement to say, because some of my favorite foods are like nacho chips with cheese, or like a good pizza, but it's like an oversaturation of cheese, if that makes sense. And something like that just has too much to me. Too much cheese to me is like, alright, I'm 3 bites in, and now I'm full and want to vomit. But yeah, don't give me those nacho cheese with chips. I'll eat that. Hey, I'm weird with it. May want to put the cats, I think, in this area. I want to put the cat Mario and Peach near up top. I haven't used these in the game itself. I don't know what they exactly do. I know they can give you power-ups. Okay, transform the invisible white cat Mario. Yep, okay, so there's why I never used that in the main playthrough, because that takes away a star on your file. And then receive random power-up items with Peach. You do that anyways with a normal Peach, so why? Also, he's allergic to the Amiibo. Bless you. You may want to get rid of your figures.
No, it's all your dust, Lester.
Yeah, I know, there's a lot of it. Why do you think I'm doing this? Barely eat the whole thing. I don't blame you. Again, there's only so much cheese someone can take. Because that is overwhelming on a person. Yeah, if I cram these guys, I might be able to get 6 on a shelf. I want to put Ken and Ryu still together on a shelf. I want to make sure I get Banjo up here, because I like on the top shelf, these are like the most important figures to me, either in terms of relevance, history sake, or just memory sake. Because I have things like Sonic, Pac-Man, the Mario Brothers, Mega Man, and I'm going to put Banjo up there, because those are the things I grew up with.
Yeah.
Well, I guess heavy quotes on Mega Man. I didn't grow up until like my teenage years with Mega Man. Even though I had an NES growing up as a kid, I didn't get the Mega Man games. I didn't play those until Wii Virtual Console. I started with a demo of Mega Man 9, hated it because I died in 10 seconds, and every time I started to play, I keep on doing that. I'm like, no, I'm moving on. Came back in like a year or two and fell in love with the series. Because I like those kind of games. They're very hard, but they're a lot of fun.
Did you get the Mega Man 11 amiibo?
No, I did not. From what I remember, I don't think it did anything that much different compared to the standard Mega Man.
Yeah, it didn't, but I mean, it's a cool figure. It's probably one.
Yeah, that's kind of why I skipped on him, because it was hard to kind of find. Timeline is like it was GameStop exclusive. So
Lester, I got an idea. After you're done cleaning, make a tier list.
Yeah, the rest of the stream is going to be a tier list. My favorite Amiibos, and the ones I hate to clean. Again, F tier. The Marios. Mario 30th Amiibo. That's F tier. They're too hard to clean. Now, like, in reality, probably when we're done with this, we're probably just going to hang out for the rest of this. Probably play like a multiplayer game or something.
Okay.
Golf?
I mean, someone's addicted. Someone's addicted.
Mario Golf?
Because I need help.
I don't know if you need any more help. You're still a pin magnet. As we keep on seeing every time you play.
Sorry.
I'm waiting for you to get like all chip-ins one course. Even if it's like a 9-hole game or something. It's like all chip-ins for your shots. You're really good at that.
I don't know how. I just want to play the game.
Okay, maybe the Fire Emblem guys should move because their capes are kind of thick. They kind of like they bang against each other. You can't really do much with these. I might put these down below with the other figures because I still have a big gap down here. I'll put these two next to figures down below. Yeah, that'll work. I'll show probably like a final product shot when we're done with this. Maybe take a picture and post online when we're done, like Twitter or something. I gotta make sure I have that space for these cats and Banjo. I already left space for the Metro guys. Oh yeah, that's what I forgot to grab. I have like something else I want to show when we get to the Cat Peach thing, but I gotta get it. It's on the shelf up here, so it's not that big of a deal. You might have been able to see it in the background when I had the webcam on, but the webcam's so blurry for anything past her face that you may not be able to figure out what it was. It's one more Amiibo I forgot to grab. I might be able to put those guys here. I will say, it's been nice to actually come back to streaming and have everything working for once.
Yeah, seriously.
That was an ordeal and a half.
You want to go over your ordeal?
I might as well go into that. So, well, TLDR is kind of some stuff I've talked about in the past where I have multiple techs come in your house and they can't find an issue, and then you rinse and repeat. That's been my process with Comcast in this area, because that's all we can really get. So, back in like July and August, there was, between those 2 months, we've had like 3 different people here, and none of them could find anything wrong. We had one guy, the very first one, order a replacement line going from the house to the pole in our area here, and it was replaced with like, instead of, I'll explain what these are in a second, so I'm just gonna name drop them. Instead of the RJ6 coax cord, they ran RG11 cord instead, and the difference is more or less the 11 is supposed to be better at preventing interference through the line, like electric interference, so that's why they decided, let's go with that, because you've had that problem before, so we'll just give you a cord that should be better about rejecting any interference coming through. So I did that as the first one. That was probably the most helpful thing they did in those like 2 months. Everything else was hit or miss. After that, the second guy came in and didn't really do much besides change like a barrel or 2 with connectors. That didn't do anything. Third guy just ran tests. He just did speed tests like, oh, number good. I'm going home. Like that third guy was useless.
Oh my gosh.
So fast forward until now, because like I couldn't use that internet fully until like a couple weeks ago because I was so busy with work that... Sorry, I just knocked over a cloud. I was so busy with work I couldn't use the internet, so like it was fine enough at the time. I didn't notice any problems. We let it go for a bit. Obviously, coming back to streaming, guess what we noticed? And you guys did too. I was dropping frames every 2 seconds because my internet signal kind of right down the pooper. I even shared some screenshots and went as low as like 0.9 megabit upload. I'm paying for like the extreme package, which gives you up to 24 megabit upload. So it's supposed to be really fast, and we were getting really slow. So we call again, and big problem as well is that I need to do this for a second. I gotta swap back over to the main cam. I don't have the other one anymore, but I can talk about this at least. This box here, I showed this on Twitter when we got it originally, or at least one of these. This is the XB7 modem. This is the newest one that Comcast offers, which supports, one of these ports is 2.5 gigabit LAN. My computer uses that, so that's a huge thing for me because it doesn't cause a conflict of interest. Because in the past I plugged my thing in one of these modems and sometimes it would just go to a slow speed because it wasn't supported. So this is a big difference. And then it has Wi-Fi 6 on it. Wi-Fi 6 is the newest Wi-Fi standard, so it's supposed to be really fast. If you have a device that supports it, you can get really good speeds. There you go. A little bit of fourth wall there with the laptop. So like this is like the one to get. But we swapped like this out with another one, and the other one didn't work as well, because that's what we thought it was, a modem problem. And then we took it down to the office one day. Taking it down to the office in their area, they didn't have any more in stock, so they gave me the XB6, which was their older one, like the black ones you might see on a commercial. And those things, they only have 2 Ethernet ports compared to the 4 like everything else has, which that kind of sucks, because they use a lot of wire up stuff. And they all, at least in my experience, have a really loud fan. Like you have nothing else running in your room and all you hear is a loud zzz sound because it's a fan in the modem. It's really loud. I sleep in the room with this modem. I sleep in here. So like the first week, that kept me up at night because I was not used to that.
Jeez.
So we were on the phone with them like last week or something, and we needed to like swap it out again because again they thought, well, we can't find a signal to your modem, so we're thinking you have a bad modem. We'll give you a new one. And we told them we need to get the 7. We have one of those. You guys never had them in stock when we kept on going back to the office in our area, so give us a 7. It took them on the phone like close to an hour just to see if they can even do it, and they couldn't do it. So what happened was there was an error every time they tried to put in an order to send us one of these XB7 modems in the mail, and they just ended up having to do like some weird stuff to get it through. So like they put in a special order for it because they were having errors, so they just bypassed it with a supervisor. And we got it. But by getting it, they originally wanted to charge us for like an extra new feature just to get it. Because apparently they don't tell you this anywhere. Even when you Google this, here's a pro tip for you. If you're looking into Comcast, if you want this white modem, the XB7, you can only get it with a gigabit plan. And it's because you can only get one of these boxes if you have X-Fi Complete, which is their unlimited data. They don't tell you that. Nowhere tells you this. We found out on that phone call that you need X-Fi Complete. So they had to put in a special order just to give it to us because we didn't have Complete, because there's an extra $25 a month just for unlimited data. And for the most part, we can get away without the data issue, so we don't use that. We don't need it. So that was already kind of stupid. They were wanting to charge us to send us this, like, we kind of upgrade you just to do it. Like, we told them, no. So because of our problems, they just bypassed that. It's like, all right, well, we see you've had like 4 modems in the past month, and you've had 3 different techs, so we're gonna just give you one anyways.
Oh my gosh.
But then, that didn't really fix the problem, so we had the call to get a tech out here. But by apparently getting one of these in the mail and installing it yourself, which we have done for I don't know how many years now. We've gone to the office in our area, gotten one there, brought the modem home and just did a self-installation. And then if we have a problem, we call for a tech, they come out free of charge. I don't know when they changed this, like, I don't know, they do this all the time, but they changed something. So now if you have a self-installation of any kind, your home, for the next 30 days, you can be charged $100 if a tech comes out. Like, are you kidding me? Why? That never happened for the past 20 years we've been using Comcast? Why? Like, I don't understand that. So we argued about that, and again, had to send a tech regardless because there's a problem here, and because of our issues, they had to whitewash that. They've had to put a note on the account saying, don't charge. So if there is a charge, immediately call them back up, because they're not supposed to do that. So as you can tell, the moral of the story here is just anytime you deal with this ISP, there's a new issue you never heard of, and now have fun. You're gonna have to deal with it. But skipping ahead, got the tech here. He was here yesterday, and immediately, first thing he suggested, not even 5 minutes into talking with the guy, he said, let's swap out your modem. Now this sounds bad, because why? I just got this thing in the mail like 4 days ago. But I was happy when he said that, because like, you're the first guy who's come here in the past 2 months that suggested this. Everyone else did not. I had to beg one of the techs before he left, can you swap this out? He wasn't going to. I'm like, that should be protocol. If something isn't working, first step, let's try to swap your device, because maybe it's bad. And they're supposed to do that. But it took 4 guys for us to finally get one that did that.
Gosh.
I'm like, well, no, because we just got this, but thank you for the offer. So that was done. We bypassed that step, so we come in the house, bring him into this room, because this is obviously where he needs to be for troubleshooting. And I need to swap again to another camera, because this was the fun part. So, you see this giant center here? Guess what's behind that? The cable outlet. Yeah, the cable outlet. Now, try to move that. You won't. So, this honking thing was like against the wall over here, like all the way against it, flush. And behind it, you won't be able to see it. I might be able to give you a view with the flashlight. Yeah, you can kind of see it a bit. It's like back in there, near the center. That's where the cable is. We couldn't get back there. The guy asked, can I get back there? Can you help me move this? Please? So I can turn it off now. So, he helped me move that. We actually moved that out from the wall, which I'm glad, because I can't move that thing. That thing is like, I swear, like 150 pounds or something stupid. That's heavy wood. But by moving that, he was able to get to the wall outlet. And again, 4 different techs. This is the first one that thought, I need to check that cable outlet. I need to run tests on that. Nothing else. Let me just look at that. So that's what he did. He opened up the wall. He found a problem within like a minute. Thank you. The problem was apparently, and this is what he said, so I understand it, I have to explain. He said there was an ingress problem in the house itself. So basically what that means is like there's some weird signal issue coming from in your specific area or like your house or wherever the problem may lie in this case. So for us, it was in the house. And according to the test he was doing, it was from the coax port on the wall. So like if you don't know what that stuff is, those ports are in your wall for like, say like a network port that you cut in, or a phone jack, or like the coax jacks. All of them, they're technically wires being ran to your wall. Then you put a plate on there, which converts that male connection to a female, so you just plug another wire into it. So that wire connected to the plate, that had like a bad like bearing on it, and that bad bearing was what was causing a problem. So he took the wire, he cut it up to like put a new connector on there to basically make it like a new cord. And by doing that, he ran more tests, and he didn't see the problem pop up anymore. Like, I got to see his test, he showed me it, and like the graph he showed, it's like, it's all supposed to be low like this all throughout your house, and you get to one point, it's like low, 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 spike, spike, low, low, low. That spike was where our modem is connected, and that's where our signal's being dropped. It's from this specific spot. So he fixed that, and I ran tests all throughout yesterday, and I mean, I did drop some frames tonight here, only 185, which is nothing. So it's like, if from what I can see, knock on some wood here, it seems like things were fixed. Well, I'll find out more longevity's sake by doing more streams and other things, obviously, but it does seem way better, because every time the last 3 guys left in the past like month or two, immediately, not even 5 minutes after they left, it's like, well, it's crap again, back on the phone. So this time, I didn't have to think that. It's a shame it takes 4 people to find one problem.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take 4 people.
Basically the smartest cat in your house.
I know.
What you doing?
That's what I was thinking too. I had one guy who came in here, no joke, he said like he was on the job for like 15 plus years and he was an expert. This was guy number 3. He was the one who just ran speed tests. Guess what? I'm a consumer. I can run a speed test too. It's called speedtest.net. I just found all your numbers. I did it too. So like he was an expert, quote unquote, and he couldn't find anything because he wasn't looking in the right spots. He was technically an installer. He was not a technician. They sent an installer for a technician call. No! You don't do that! That's like sending a car salesman to fix your car. You send a mechanic to fix your car. That's what happened, basically. So I think you get the gist of this one. Like, I don't understand, like, the mentality at times. I really don't. It makes for good stories. You can't make this up. But it's so dumb. It really is. It takes that long to finally get some kind of results. Like, if I drop frames now, I don't care as much if it's like, say, like 100 frames every like hour or 2 at the most, because that's normal at that point. Like, you probably could have an interruption with the site, or like maybe a hardware thing or whatever. It's like, that's in the norm. OBS says it's like in the 0% range, so it's like, yeah, I don't care. So that's fine. But the fact we did all that, and the guy found it in like 5 minutes, and everyone else was here for like 3+ hours and I couldn't find anything, I was like, well, apparently we just did get the right one. So that was my week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I will say, at least that downtime for like, what, a week and a half or so? Because we tried to stream, it was near the end of August. Something like that. And then, you know, that's when it went down to crapper. Like, all right, I gotta take off for now. That at least let me work on more video stuff in the background, so I got more stuff done during the times I was supposed to stream, so it wasn't wasted. But I just like, man, I like streaming, and I swear, at times it gets to a point where like, I gotta quit. And it's not because I want to. It's because the internet here is just so unusable. I physically can't do it. Like, no matter what settings I would change, it's just, nope, can't connect. I literally did a test stream. That day I announced, hey, I gotta take off again. And in the test stream, no joke, I was even in, like, Amber, it was in your stream, and in the middle of that, I had to text Matt to say, I can't be here now because I got hard kicked off Discord. Yeah, I was running a stream test when I was doing that stuff with you guys. I got hard kicked off Twitch too. I looked over at OBS and it just had 0 bitrate, attempting to reconnect, and it took like 3 minutes and it finally failed. I was like, well, back to the retirement farm. Like, gosh. Yeah, one wild 3 months, I know. It's like a repeat of 2019, I feel. And to me, this was worse than 2019. when I had the same kind of problems where it was like so bad to a point where the power company was the real problem, and it took 4 people to find that issue and then report it. But at least with that one, it seemed like every guy who was here, minus tech number 2, because he was a little wish-washy, but during that visit, they had a supervisor come out, and that supervisor at least did something. Like, he put in some special requests at the time or something, I can't remember specifics.
Oh my god, dude.
But he mouthed me off, but at least he did stuff. But speaking of that guy, we bring his name, I'm not going to say his full name, for obvious reasons. We call him Dave. Dave, I bring up his name to like every technician that comes here. And every single time I mention his name, they all roll their eyes. So apparently he's not well liked in this company. But that supervisor doesn't work here anymore. Apparently he's off in a different county now. He's like an hour away from where he used to be, which was in this area. So it's like, good. But I did get another supervisor's number. And I tried to call him and he wouldn't answer. So
oh my God.
I might as well delete that number because that one's useless. Yeah, moral of the story, how many technicians does it take to change a coax wire? The answer's 4. 4. Moving on. Aye. On the plus side, I finished recording the main game Majora's Mask, so look forward to the rest of that series. That's what downtime gives you.
Lots
of hindsight.
On things.
Yeah, in hindsight, I need to do the rest of the bonus content I have it planned for that series now. Like, I want to do it sometime before next week, because starting next week, we need to get a roof replaced, because like it's on the cutoff period for an insurance company. So if we don't get it replaced by the end of the year, they can just drop you, because the roof is like 20 years old. Technically, it's supposed to be replaced every 15 years for insurance purposes. So we're getting a new one next week. You can't do anything in this nature. You can't do that when they're working, because all you're going to hear is thump, 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 thump. You can't do that. You can't do any kind of recordings when that's going on. It's impossible. So my goal is I want to try to record more content before then, and then during the times at home when they're working, I can just edit. So I already have a good amount of stuff now to edit, but give me more, because I'm probably going to want to do that next week. What do you teach in trade schools these days? I think the better question on that one, Ethan, is more or less what do they require a Comcast employee to learn? Because I'll tell you what they teach you in trade school. They teach you everything that can fix a problem. I should know, I went there. I could have fixed this problem. I honestly, when I seen the issue, I immediately knew what the guy was talking about. Like, oh, that was the problem, really? Like, that's how I acted, because if I had the tools, like I need a crimper, I don't have a crimper, I need the right barrel connection. I don't have one of those for like a spare coax core when you make it. I don't have the stuff. But if I did have that stuff, I probably could have fixed that issue. I just need to learn, I need to contact Goku and learn how to do Kaioken. Then I could move my giant entertainment center.
Kaioken?
Because I can't move that on my own. I needed someone to help me move it. But if I could move that on my own and I had the tools, I might have been able to even fix our issue. So that's what I mean. It's like what they should be teaching these guys is how this stuff works, because I went to a school that teaches you about networking things, because I went to a technical college which teaches you this kind of stuff for a technician job. So they should know. They honestly should. I half the time I mention to them the word packet loss, and then they look at me with a blank face, like, you don't understand what that word means? I do. I went to the same school as you probably had to for this job, so that means you should know this. Like, I can't make this up. And trust me, when you're doing troubleshooting on the internet, packet loss is one of like the basic terms you learn as a computer technician, because that comes up all the time. It really does. So the fact that none of these guys understood it, it's like, no, come on. Do any of you guys actually know what an internet is? Like, that's where I feel like asking it. Yeah, that's probably the answer. No, I don't know what internet is. Then why are you here? Like, just go. Okay, I think I put Banjo here. He's kind of a thick amiibo because of the wings from Kazooie. I think I can go right next to probably Peach. I think there's enough space. If not, I might have to move the 2 princesses from Mario. It seems like I have some gap here. You can see where my hand's dropping. If there's some space, I might be able to put something there. I don't want to cram these too much, so I'm trying to see what's free and what's realistic space. But the cats could probably go there, because these cat figures aren't really that big, if you want to be honest. Especially Cat Mario, because he's on like a pole. So I might be able to fit them there. So let's start with Banjo, because that's the big one I'm not sure of.
Banjo, big boy.
Yeah, he is, but it's because of Kazooie. Kazooie's the big thing about this figure. Banjo himself is pretty thick, but it's more on the sides. Kazooie's like all over the place on this one. And I almost forgot, I should probably swap over to... You know what, I'm gonna call this A cam, we gotta swap over to B cam, which is the phone. Let's just use like real filming terms. There you go, here's the B cam. There you go, there's Banjo. I gotta move the phone again, I guess. As I said, like, Banjo himself is only really like chunky on the sides, but like on the front area, that's not that bad.
Just like so,
his stand is different though, because he has a jiggy. Yeah, they can get his use cases here. Let's keep that moved over here. Before I open this, so we get another sip of water. Yeah, it's kind of like the Skyward Sword Zelda Amiibo in some ways, yeah, with the thickness. I would kind of say the Loft Wing is a little bit thicker than Kazooie. I like the two birds. Like here, actually. Should I show that? No, I'll wait until I take the figure out and then we'll grab the Loft Wing again for comparison. Yeah, I've been meaning to open these things for like months. Because Banjo, I think, came out in March. And he's been sitting on my shelf since March. I just haven't had the time. But I'm actually running out of bookshelf space, so I need to get this thing unboxed.
You touched him and he died.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
There we go. Got the finger in there, so I just rip the rest of the plastic and cardboard off of each other. There we go. I can just go aside, and here we go. There it be, Banjo. Oh, that's from it might be from like the box. I have like this texture all of a sudden on the back of my finger here. Yeah, it's from the box. I thought there was a texture on the actual like base of the figure. I'm like, where'd that come from? But that's the cardboard. I do like how he's standing on a jiggy. That's like a really nice detail that they did.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Joker's Amiibo has the fire.
Yeah,
the blue
like
fire.
he's encapsulated in it. It's like a really good designed figure. Like, this is in the age now where their Amiibo quality is like superb. Like you compare this to Wave 1 back in like Smash 4 days on Wii U. Yeesh. It looks like you got a Chinese knockoff when you compare one of those things. So here's the other one we were talking about. So Banjo and Loft Wing, like two different bird with character figures. And like, yeah, the Loft Wing is definitely thicker on the figure than Kazooie, just because it's a full bird compared to Kazooie being like a half bird, since the other half is in the backpack, which, you know, technically doesn't exist since this is plastic. Imagine if it's actually a bird in plastic, that'd be weird. But she's like attached with probably no body there. If you break this off, it'd probably just be Kazooie's like waist up, no feet. But even though like this one is definitely thicker and heftier, they're still both very close on detail, I feel. Like these new figures in general. Oh, I just noticed this detail too. It might not show up well on camera. See if we can get it kind of close-ish. If we can focus, it wants to. Yeah, there you go, you can kind of see it. The Rare logo. The modern age one though, not like the one from the 90s. It's on his backpack. That's neat.
Yeah, that's a good little quality thing there.
Yeah. That's a nice little detail. I did not notice that because, again, he's been in the box since I got him, so I haven't been able to see the backside. So I didn't know they actually put the Rare logo on his backpack. That's nice. There we go. Yeah, he fits right there. That's perfect. And there's still space here. I could probably just put those cat figures right next to each other. Let me put back this one because we're not using the loft wing anymore. Yeah, that's the big downside to these Amiibo nowadays. They are really good in quality, but they're... At most nowadays, it's like maybe 15 figures a year. And that's like with third parties included. By Nintendo themselves, it's like 6 a year or something. It's not much, but they don't have many more series to work with. And Amiibo don't sell as well as they used to when they sell them all in bulk. When they sell like one every month or two, and that's when they sell more, from what I heard. Selling them like how they did back in the Smash 4 days with Wii U and 3DS, it was near the end. I think they said there was dwindling sales.
I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming years Nintendo finally retires them.
They probably will, to be fair, because there's not many left. Like, once they're done with the Smash lineup, there's no more Smash Amiibo. So that's one series they could just axe at that point.
Well, the thing that irritates me is there's a lot of characters you could do a Player 2 figure, and they proved that they've done it.
Oh, of course. They can go back to certain characters and just give a Player 2 variant. I mean, one of the big ones is Byleth, since people were very upset at first that when they announced that figure it's going to just be the Player 1 version, which was male Byleth. People want a female one. They just said, not right now. Maybe later. But that hasn't happened yet.
Female Robin, male Wii Fit trainer, Alf, all the Koopalings.
Yeah, that's true. They could do a whole set of just Koopalings, which they could do either for the Smash series, or if they don't want to do any more for the Smash series, then they can just do Koopalings for Mario. Because they still release new Mario series, I mean.
Yeah.
Mario series. Proof. This came out this year. So, I can see maybe if they don't do more for Smash, they could do the Koopalings for the Mario set.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, they did Koopa and Goomba and Boo.
Yeah, that's true, Ethan, but the female and male versions of Core, and that was for the Smash 4 set, and they promised that back in, like, 2016. And it took those figures, like, 2 years, something like that, to finally come out.
Did they really come out in 2018?
Well, they took way longer than they were supposed to, because the character came out in, like, 2016, and it took years for the Amiibo to finally resurface. I can't remember the exact release date, but I could have swore it was 2018. Man, this guy's like really hard to get open. There we go. Jeez. Use the good glue on this one. There we go. I already kind of like his detail, just seeing the fur texture on like the plastic. That's already like really well done. I'll see more here in a second. Dude, these plastic things are so loud when they open. I can see my interface, the Focusrite on my desk. You might even see it sometimes in the back. I can see it light up green every time I pull the plastic off of one of these cases, because that's my microphone picking that up, like my main condenser microphone that I use for this stuff normally. It's that loud. Alright, my Amiibo stack here is a little dangerous, but it's fine.
Corn and all them released.
You could probably look up a release time window of that. Just like type in Corn Amiibo release, and then you could probably find it. Like release date.
It was around 2017. Late 2017.
Okay, so it took over a year from original announcement to release time. Because I remember it was a huge deal when they finally released them, because it made headlines with how terribly long it took for those figures of all Smash figures to finally get a release. This texture feels very nice on him. It's like very rough, which makes sense because that's what the cat suit is in the game. It's like a rough fur. So it does get reflected well in the figure. Oh, you were having issues for a second. That was just on your end then, Ethan. I was gonna say, if I'm having audio issues, like, people just let me know and I can fix things. At least I can see my meters moving in OBS every time I talk or when someone else talks or something. So I know I'm at least still being picked up by that. I could probably put maybe the other one there, but before I get the other one in box, I need to grab something. I have one more figure here. But it's all the way on the other side of the room. I guess we'll grab this one too. Okay, there we go. So, jeez, this is like the one thing I hate about this corner right now because I got wires everywhere. Alright, so let me, well, first let me grab this. Take a sip. Gotta stay hydrated during all this. Alright. Let's swap back over to the B-cam side of things here. Alright, so I got a question for you guys. We have one more Amiibo here to unbox. Should we unbox Cat Peach? Or should we unbox Cat Peach?
You get two.
Yeah, I have a story about this. This is why I wanted to. I'm not opening this one. That was a joke. So I have two Amiibo now that are fully boxed. Player 2 Bayonetta. Or, no, Player 1 Bayonetta, that's Player 1's side. So Bayonetta 2, that's why you get them confused. Bayonetta 2 Bayonetta. Thanks to Amber here, which, again, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Oh, that's where I forgot.
Yeah. Because you guys had the extra. Amber was the one who had this, but you never opened this one. You just wanted to get rid of it at one point. You were trying to sell it, couldn't sell it, and then you asked me if you were like wanting to like send it here. I was like, yeah, I'll take it, sure. Because I already have one, technically. I have like my own we already showed earlier, but it's unboxed. So I have one here, and this has been my only unopened Amiibo, so I just have this on display. But now I have two because of Cat Peach. So here's what happened. When I went to go get my Amiibo for Cat Peach originally, so I'm gonna get this one away because this is the one I'm gonna keep in the box. When I went to go get my Cat Mario, Cat Peach, and Bowser Jr., because I pre-ordered all three of these guys at Best Buy, what happened was that when the guy brought out my order, because it was a store pickup and it was like a curbside pickup thing, so he brought out a bag and like, here you go, here's your order. All right, well, we're done, see you later. Went back inside. So I go and check the bag because I have them dropped in the trunk of the car. When I go check, I take out a Cat Mario, Cat Peach, Bowser Jr., and then a second Cat Peach. I'm like, okay. And I check the back of it because on the back of all the figures they put their little pickup tag, which I obviously have removed now, but they had their pickup label and it was in my name. I ordered one of each of these. I ordered one Cat Peach and they gave me two for some reason. And I checked my account on Best Buy and then my credit card I used to pay for these. There was no charge for two Cat Peach Amiibo. They gave me an extra one by mistake, so they gave me a free Cat Peach. So I have two of these and I keep one in the box now for that reason. So I have two unopened Amiibo I can just display because one was a gift and now the other one was an error. So I decided to open this one because I think out of the two boxes, I think I've seen, actually I gotta see something. Oh yeah, here we go. This like little flap up here, which you can't really see that well in the camera. You kind of see it. It's a little bent. So like this is the one I want to open for that reason because the box isn't as in good of a condition as this one. This one to me has like a better box. It seems like more sturdy. So out of the two, I decided open the worst condition one since the figures are the exact same. They have no blemishes or scratches or anything like that from what I can see. So I just opened whichever one has the worst box. Hence why I didn't go with this one. The fact that I did that was a big mistake on their part. I will give them that. Like, they weren't supposed to give me two of these. I only paid for one. So technically, I have 4 Amiibos in my collection at least that I've gotten 100% free because of some kind of error. Whether it be shipping error or store error in this case. And this is actually, it's been in my background for a while. If I do any on-cam stuff, it's been in the background, which I've had a handful of videos over the past couple months that I've been on cam with. And you can't really see this all that well in the background because, you know, I've been using something like a webcam or maybe something out of focus. So, you know, I don't think a lot of people picked up on this double Amiibo situation until I had to point it out.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. She out. Alright. Here we go. Our last figure in the night to unbox. Let's see how she looks. It's a nice detail, like, fur again, just like the Cat Mario, because it's the same kind of texturing. Like, really well done with, like, the ridges here. You can really see it on camera now. It's a shame though, this one is basically the same as like any other Mario Amiibo in 3D World use case. At least from according to what the back of the box says. Because the back of the box here just says it receives random power-up items. So anytime you just scan this Amiibo in, you can get like a fire flower or a star or whatever. Any of the Mario Amiibos did the exact same thing in 3D World. So unfortunately, this one doesn't seem to have a special use compared to the Cat Mario, which gives you the white cat suit, which was an exclusive power-up to being terrible at video games, technically. You could have only used that suit if you like not game over, like died in a stage like 5 times, I believe. Let me actually see something. I'm trying to put you guys on the edges. And I can move Pac-Man with Banjo. Well, I mean, that looks better, but now it also looks empty. I need like 2 more figures.
Ordered 2 sets of the almond silicone Amiibo. That's just how I got my set. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. To be fair, you've kind of done that a couple times over the years, because that's also how I got my my Lucario. You gave me that as a gift because you had 2 orders by accident at one point. Well, sometimes you do that.
I kind of have to sometimes because I don't know, like at the early of the Amiibo craze, they'd cancel pre-orders because they ran out.
Yeah. There was also cases when the pre-orders went live that sometimes it just didn't go through at first too. Until you like hit the button like 10 times and sometimes it would go through. Hey Rai, how you doing? How many Amiibos I have in total? I can't say the exact number because it's more off cam, but we counted here. It was like over 90. So I would say like a little over 100 something figures. Something like that. It's a lot, but to be fair, yeah, you're saying good God to the guy, you know, come from the guy who has every single North American released figure here.
I know.
So you're one to talk.
I know. When you say it out loud, it just...
Yeah, you're like, hey, over 100. Oh no. And you just look over the ear show.
Do the same thing with Real Factory 4 special on Switch. Got the other copy and send it to him. Yeah.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Thank you for anyone go up there.
That's how I kind of view things when I accidentally double order things. It's like, I could use it as a gift.
I mean, they do make good gifts, to be fair. So I don't blame you. It's a good idea. I've given Amiibo to people at times, too. I know I've gifted a Waluigi to, like, my ex a couple years ago. Like, they do make as, like, good gift ideas if people like an X character from any series, not just Nintendo, since there's a decent amount of third-party Amiibo now. Yeah, I think Lucario works with that because it's a small enough figure. Yeah, exactly an Amiibo. Hey, I don't blame you. I know some people do the same. I mainly one time, and Matt, you can agree with the story. One time I was like, I'll just get the Link because he looked cool and I like Zelda games, so I'll just get Link. That worked out well. Now I have 5 Links. How many Links do you have, Matt? More than 5?
All.
Yeah,
I have like all of the Links.
Yeah, it's hard to count because there's a Link per every Zelda game, really. And because of that, there's so many.
There's Smash Link, there's Toon Link, Smash Toon Link, the 30th anniversary Link, the Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Majora's Mask. Ocarina. Did I say Ocarina?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And wait,
to be fair, there's now technically 2 Ocarina Links, because there's the adult Link, which is the actual Ocarina of Time Amiibo release, and then there's Young Link from Smash, which is Ocarina of Time Link. So there's technically 2 of them.
To get the Breath of the Wild Zelda and Link Amiibo. Yeah,
that would be good, yeah. I was wanting to get those at one point, but I haven't been able to find those. I know now they restock the champion ones, specifically, a decent amount.
Oh, yeah, because champions were out of stock for quite a while. I'm kind of glad we got the champions.
Maybe not Wario. It's kind of like Wario and Waluigi be together.
Metroid Samus Returns is actually a really, really good 3DS game. I wish more people would have bought it when it came out. I know right when the Switch came out, but...
Yeah, it kind of released at a bad time, because everyone was talking about the Switch, so games on 3DS were getting ignored, starting with, like, mid to late 2017. I don't think who else to put in that spot. There's, like, one spot here between Peach and Daisy up here. You probably can't really see all that well now. It's a small spot, but big enough to put someone. I can move Samus, I guess, but then what do I put behind Samus? So that's why now I'm just staring. What about the Samus Return? I don't think 3DS works anymore. Yeah, that's fair. And trying to find a new 3DS system now is a little hard, because I think they're officially out of production. So you have to buy one in the used market, which kind of sucks. If anything, maybe... Nah, it should be Robo be kind of too thick, because he has a wire coming out of the back of him.
I bought it when Nintendo gave me a birthday discount one year. Yeah, I remember that. I remember Nintendo gives those out. I don't know why.
We just do this instead. Might be better.
I'm just gonna shut up. I don't understand why I said that. Of course, they would give you a discount. It's your birthday. Duh. Sorry.
Well, I mean, you actually do make a good point. Why does Nintendo give you one? Because when you look at other companies like Sony and Microsoft, they don't. Nintendo's more kind about that kind of stuff, which is always something I liked about them.
Yeah.
They're usually pretty good about like that kind of consumer deal. But to be fair, a lot of times their games are never on sale, so it balances out a kind of, maybe, not really.
They don't do that anymore? Aww.
They don't? They must have just stopped that more recently. Because I know they were doing that decent amount for the beginning of the Switch. I know that for the most part they were more designed for like 3DS and Wii U games, which they stopped giving out discounts for those entirely now via My Nintendo. Which means that I guess birthday discounts is just kind of cut off because of the same reason. I think we're pretty much done. I don't think there's anything else I want to like rearrange here, because everything else is like in a good spot. Even if there's like a gap here and there, it's like full on most of these shelves now, and it's honestly, to me, I think the final product. So I think we'll do one more B-cam shot, but let me set up first so I don't have to deal with the changing. I had my phone at like 78% or something like that when we started, and now it's down to 25. This camera software does take up the battery, but hey, that's better than my old phone. My old phone would have died in 5 minutes. Alright, let's hit B-cam. That's the wrong one. That's the right one. There we go. So, excuse for the shakiness, but obviously we started down there. That does not count as Amiibo, but that's on the shelf for now. If I get more Amiibo, it may move, but for now I just have my R-Wing displayed there from that Starlink series. And then this is the final product for the actual Amiibos. It's the fourth shelf. Here's the third, which I think you may say like it's too close for some, but when you have a lot of figures like this, there's only so much you can do. And I think how these are set up, like to me, I can see all the ones I want to see in very specific ways, and whatever ones I need to get, they're right there. Like if I need, say, this Zelda, I can easily get her out. May have to move a figure or two, but it's like pop out, there you go. Use it, put it back, it's fine. So I kind of like how everything turned out, and we got our gaps here for future releases I'm looking to add into the collection. Like probably have like the new Samus and like the robot thing from Dread right next to those. Metroid Amiibo. And then up here, we filled in even those gaps I had to put the new guys in that we had to unbox tonight. So we unboxed Cat Mario, Cat Peach, the Banjo. I don't think they're not up here. I don't think. It's like, dude, I already blanked on what figures we opened. I'm the one opening them. Bowser Jr. There, that's number 4.
The cat.
Hang on, this one. Oh yeah, and the Zelda Loftwing. Zelda Loftwing. There you go. That's your 5 we unboxed tonight, and they're all now cleanly on the shelf.
I see the dreaded Ganondorf Amiibo from the Smash series.
He wants a rematch.
Oh gosh.
1v1 him, no items. You will die. Yeah, I think this turned out really well. I'm happy with the layouts I have here. Everything is, again, easy to get to. Very well detailed and from a distance. As I'm going to put this down now, which I have to clamp that down. This is a tripod, so I got to clamp that down feet every time I'm done. Alright, there we go. I'm going to kill the LED because I don't want my phone to be on fire. That's warm. Alright, but then you can even see from a distance, it's all good. So let me do one final zoom out, I guess. Because that's what I see when I walk in the room. And I think we did a good job.
That's really good.
That looks good.
Now you can also see why the Star Fox R-Wing is like down below. Because you don't see that until you actually get close to it. That's why the bottom shelf, I'll put overflow amiibo there. Like, here's the ones that I have that you may not actually display at all times because you're not going to see them. They're physically under you. So, yeah, there you go. Just catch up chat here real quick. Yeah, I'd say other people also noticing the Ganondorf and just seeing it from the streams we had in the past too, and just crying internally.
I was just getting PTSD. More flashbacks.
Hey, I did a good job training him. I want to do that again at some point. Maybe make another video in that style and train another one of these guys that works in Smash. I don't know who I'd pick yet. It's just like, that's hard to do because that was a very time-consuming project when I did that. Like, that was last year. That didn't even feel like last year. But yeah, that took like, I like to say 4 hours in total. Because it takes like a couple hours just to train the guy alone, and then there's all that fine-tuning you do near the end with the spirits to get him exactly how you want it. It takes a long time. So yeah, I might want to do another one of those in the future, but I don't know when. It wouldn't be anytime soon, since I still have a lot of other projects I mind to work on first. So yeah. That's that. It looked good, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was fun.